As for Alexis Sanchez, you mentioned it, the moment he was taken off, United seemed to play better. So, and he did go off injured, and there was a question I asked you, is he really injured, or is he just using this as an excuse to get off the pitch and, you know, just make sure that the pressure's off, he can just maybe regroup and come back? And with that statement, hate tweets are coming into Stadium Astro. But is there a viable solution for Alexis Sanchez right now?
Well, I don't know what's really going on in his head at the moment, but obviously I was excited, like I said before the game, to see him play today, where obviously we've got the perfect home game where he can come and do a bit and get on the ball and have plenty of opportunities. But for whatever reason, that didn't seem to happen. But it did seem to be a spark in the team in terms of energy once he did go off the field. But like, Alexis Sanchez is a top player, so there's obviously something wrong, whether he's unhappy or something going on off the pitch in his head. There's something, because he's a world-class player.
Yeah, Manchester United did get better after the change. Yeah. But you have to say there's a certain amount of luck associated to it, because Solskjaer didn't sub him for a tactical reason. He subbed him through an injury. But there was a change. I think it's unfortunate that he got hurt like that. Maybe coincidence that they started to play better. You know,
is it really a coincidence?
It's really difficult to say, isn't it? Really difficult to say.
It's hard to say that the team's going to get better when a player like Sanchez leaves the field. And he's a top player. But
I'm not questioning his talent, but I'm just questioning in terms of deliverance when Dalot came on, as you can see behind you. Yeah. You mentioned that the team changed. There was a lot more pace, they were a lot more direct. That surely is an answer. If you were Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on the touchline, you just see that happening, you must ask yourself the question. Anybody, even if they're on playing football fantasy for that fact, the moment you substitute a player and somebody comes on and plays better, it's not rocket science. It's just facts and figures.
Well, even with, if something is going on with Sanchez on and off the pitch, you can still run around. You can play bad and run around. And even when you do run around, you'll make tackles and things will happen. You just create stuff. And that's what the young guy did when he came on. He started running around and got into a few good positions, and that's what I think lifted everybody else up.
Is his price tag the only thing that is keeping him at United right now? The amount of money they're paying him week in, week out?
Well, I mean, we're outside the transfer window, so there's nothing that can be done anyway.
End of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's down to... Solskjaer's obviously trying to get the best out of him. The players down on form, low in confidence. He had an opportunity today. Made one lovely pass early on in the game, a little reverse ball where they maybe should have scored from. But apart from that, his overall contribution was low. And, you know, he has to find some form, and he needs to find it quickly.
Have you ever been in a situation where you've seen a player such as Sanchez, who's got all the talent in the world, but just mentally, I mean, I wouldn't say he's mentally weak, but it's just not happening for him?
Obviously, I've played with loads of players that go in and out of form, but not to the scale of this, I don't think. Wow. But in terms of that, I mean, not just because of his performances. I mean, obviously, it almost seemed to happen as soon as he went to United. There wasn't... It's not like it's happened 2 years down the line. It sort of seemed to happen overnight. But it's hard to put your finger on it. It's a strange one.
Do you get the psychologist involved? What needs to be done? Because everyone seems to want him to succeed. Everybody seems to want to save him and his career at United. But it's just not working out. When would you pull the trigger?
Yeah, well, for sure, behind the scenes, that between the manager, sports scientists, whether that's psychologists, people that work closely on the physical side, you know, his family, his friends, it's normal around a player now that they're all going to try and provide that support to do the best they can for him. But ultimately, the player has to go out onto the field and deliver. It's their responsibility to do that.
Yeah, totally agree. But I'm sure he's working hard daily because, like I say, friends and family, and we all want to see him play well, but I'm sure he wants to be playing well as well, you know. So I'm sure he'll be doing what he can be in and around the training ground. But like I say, it's strange to see him have such little input in a game like that where he could have really pulled the strings there today.
Okay, then just one final question on Sanchez. We've mentioned when the transfer window starts at the end of the season, would you bite the bullet? Would you ask him to move on or give him another season and just see what happens?
I personally would give him another season because I know how good he can be. And also, as a business side of it, who else is going to pay him what he's earning now?
Yeah.
Does he earn a lot of money?
Are you being cynical there, Paul?
No. Keep my view is you keep working with him. You keep trying to find solutions. That's what you do during difficult times as a team, difficult times with individual players. You stick at it. You stay determined.